I will be diving into the toad's mouth.
Of course you would. We wouldn't expect anything more from you.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect anything less. All right. Hello and welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players, Cat,
Hi.
Damian,
Greetings.
Kay,
Hungry.
Kirv,
Hiya.
and Vinny.
Hello.
We unfortunately do not have Romulus today. He is unfortunately unwell. His sinuses have decided they're going to block him, so he's unable to do D&D at the moment, which is a shame, but we wish you well. We look forward to having you back, Beefcake, but we'll see. All right. Yeah. Let's get straight into this, shall we? With Kay jumping into its mouth. Not yet. We'll give it a mo.
I'll do it though.
I know you will, but in a mo. We'll give it a bit. Calm down. We're not there yet. You don't need to go crazy. Not just yet, anyway. Okay.
That thing's kind of ugly, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so cute.
Welcome back, one and all. The storyteller returns to you with the continued tale of the Horny Brigade. That isn't their official title, and I can't have them calling themselves that for monetization reasons. But given their postponing and now level 5, I thought it best to name them based on suggestions. Returning to our troupe of Cat, Damian, Kay, Kirv, Romulus, and Vinny. They've successfully completed their quest to enter into the spider's den within the jade mine, liberate some jade, and kill off... No, wait. That's not right. Oh, right. You stole some jade, befriended your enemies, made a deal to get even more jade, and left on good terms. Given all of that, I'm glad they did well, but now we can get to some more juicier stuff. A toad, for example. With the jade mine finished for now, and with from the aid of the party, the Silkspinners have left, or in the process of leaving anyway. Cat has cracked again, whatever that means, and the party now stand at the precipice, the exit from their jade adventure, with the hours of dusk setting in. The chirping of insects and the general buzz of the bayou life beyond begin to harmonize. They're preparing for their act and symphony of the night. It is brutally interrupted by the screams of a young goblin scout, who seemingly was unprepared when he opened a door. Vinny had trapped a giant toad behind it, for reasons of his own decision, and now let's see what the party will do from here. As you reach the mine mouth, a scream is heard as a goblin scout who was running towards you away from the door of the office is yanked back by a tongue which shoots out, grabs him, and swallows him into a giant toad. You hear a shout, and you can see a glow from what looks to be 3 more figures standing around this particular this place. Goblin is inside. There seems to be a dwarven individual standing next to them. A elven figure is... Actually, no, the elven figure would be inside here. And what looks to be a giant-blooded individual who's currently seen what's going on is now looking out of the door, which is currently opened inwards. I would like everyone to prepare for their roll for initiative. So I believe, Kay, you will be the one rolling. Kirv, you'll be the one rolling. And Damian, you might as well roll as well, because Romulus isn't here. So, way I'm handling...
Alright, so I'm rolling, but I'm getting your modifier.
Correct.
Okay.
So with the way the special initiative is working, because of how many people there are in this, I am doubling up people. So roll a single dice and then add the modifier of the person with the highest amount. So in this case...
Romulus's is.
Romulus's is +2.
Oh my god, the one time I have a plus initiative.
Oh yeah, there will be the one and only time you'll get a positive in your initiative. And you got a nat.
Aw, that's
No,
cute.
no, we're good.
You tried. You
It's
tried.
a dirty 20 instead.
Oh, you tried.
Cat, what was yours?
+3.
Oh, okay. That's 19 plus 3. 12.
Oh my
Not
goodness,
12,
wow.
22. Oh my gosh.
What's yours? Vinny?
It's a +9.
So 15 plus 9.
What? Oh, no. Hang
4.
on. I
And
still rolled
Damian,
lowest.
you got a natural 1 to -4 with a +2. That is a -2. Well done.
No, I got an 18. I actually got an 18. I didn't
Oh,
get that one.
you got an 18. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
so
said
it's
you
a
got
dirty
an
20. I just wanted a nat one because that'd been hilarious.
Oh, you wanted a nat 1. Oh, I see. Okay, this initiative order is looking a lot more spicy. Okay, so I might as well just say 25 to 20 because I know that it goes 24, 22, 20. Okay. So then I need to roll for the half giant individual. Half giant individual with the dwarf. They have the highest of that. So I need to put in that. Next, I have the goblin and the elven individual. So they are there. And they get that. And then the toad. Nice. Okay. So, beginning of combat. We start with... I could just leave this in order. This is perfect. So, beginning of the combat. Vinny and Kay. Currently, none of you have left the entrance. You would all be considered as part of this general area here. You may take 5 feet of movement to leave the cave onto this tile and move onwards from there. This is the current situation that you see. The two of you, as you got top of the initiative order, you look out across the walkway and you can see where the building of the office and the barracks are. What looks to be a dwarven individual who's currently hunched over kind of a mantle of what looks to be kind of these thick furs and a staff in hand, just kind of looks around the corner where the tongue came from as the door was cracked open, and you can just about see the giant toad from this particular angle.
Woo!
What
Alright,
either of you like
you
to
know
do?
what Kay's
Okay.
you know what Kay's doing.
Okay.
I can reach it.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, given you're going to attempt to do this, I'll say make me an acrobatics check as you'll need to go over the boxes in order to get there in time. And you're going to try and leap into its mouth.
Somebody's got to save the goblin.
Fair enough. Okay.
Acrobatics is with the +7.
Okay. Vinny, you watch as Kay runs out of the cave, seeing this happen, does a front flip over the boxes, gaining incredible height, zooms past this dwarven individual, and then leaps. I'm going to say go ahead and make me an attack roll. This will be versus the AC of the toad, +5, considering 3/4 cover from it close against mouth. Total to hit.
It doesn't hit. What would this be like? I guess I'd go in with my tail.
This would just be your tail or whatever. So this is you trying to just slide into the toad's mouth.
11.
11. As you otherwise jump and you slide where you would hopefully try and get in, the mouth closes and you hit the front and bounce off of it before you manage to otherwise slide into the mouth of the toad. The toad kind of blows out its lower throat in kind of this low, almost hiss growl as you bounce off of it and land here in the doorway.
Alright, I guess in that case I will attempt to try and get into a place where these other people can't see me. Which I can't yet, so I am just going... I'm only going
Remember you have
to...
extra attacks. You can attack again if you want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm just gonna use my extra attack. I'm not going to be using my bonus action attack.
Okay.
Because I cannot bite it with people around.
Okay. So, go ahead and take an attack roll with your tail and or claws.
Claws. Since I already used my tail, I have to go claws.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it will be a d6 here. Total to hit is...
That is a 16.
Yep, that hits. Yeah. The toad has a tough flesh to its hide, but it otherwise isn't enough as you otherwise rush up and slash across it with your claws, doing...
6 plus 2.
To get rid of this. I forgot to clear this up last time. 6 plus 2, so 8 points of damage overall. Okay. As you otherwise take a take this initial swing into it, cutting across with your sharpened claws. You dig in and cut a little bit away at the mucus around the outside of it and the little bit of the flesh and hide underneath. Okay.
Can I kind of, since I can't really use my bonus action to attack, can I use my bonus action to swiftly, basically sleight of hand, try and grab my new dagger just to make it look like I'm using the dagger?
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check. I'll allow that as a bonus action.
I forgot there are other people here. Sleight of hand, that's a 14.
Okay. I'll say in this instance, the individuals around you seem to be more preoccupied with the fact that their goblin friend was eaten than the fact that someone just rushed in and attacked it with what may or may not have been a dagger.
I'm just making sure. Kay's covering his bases.
Yep, no, that's fair.
Shiny dagger.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 5 feet of movement for me to get to the mouth of the cave, correct?
Yes. Yeah. 5. Get there. And Cat and Kirv, you will be up next, so
Okay.
get ready.
Can't actually get close to it where it is right now. That's fine. I have the bow. 10. 20 feet over here.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna dash out and fire off a quick shot with my short bow.
Okay. Just going to do this for that. Okay.
Refresh my memory.
Mm-hmm.
Called shots. That's it gets a bonus to its AC, correct?
Do you mean on your part in terms of the...
Where, like, if you say you want to hit it in the eye or something?
Oh, like attacks with intent and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Or...
that sort of thing.
Yeah, attacks with intent, they get a bonus to their AC the harder it will be to hit that part. So in this instance, the opponent is already gaining 3/4 cover because of this particular part. So it would mean that they'd get an additional 3/4 cover if you're aiming for something like the eye. This is a particularly difficult shot. So they'd get a +10 to their AC.
What about the body, like the diaphragm?
The body would be fine. That would just count on the AC basis. And because most of it is hidden inside of this room, it would be 3/4 cover. Kay was attacking against half cover. And he actually, considering that, you would have just hit with that 16. With the half cover.
Oh.
So, you still would have done the damage, but just note that in terms of how much its AC would be.
So, 16.
Okay. So if I were to try to shoot it in the diaphragm and make it like dry
Regurgitate.
heave almost. Yeah.
Okay. I'll allow that as an attack
Would that
with
be
10.
possible?
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
possible. So that would be a con save on my part based on your 10 plus your damage, half your damage roll. So go ahead.
Okay, being there means
You get sneak attack. Yep.
Won't matter if this isn't hit, but let's see.
Total to hit, because it has 3/4
So
cover.
that's 7 now, so that's 16.
Unfortunately, because it has the 3/4 cover, that just misses.
Unfortunate, but
As you pull the string back on your short bow, firing the arrow, it hits the wooden door, which otherwise flaps shut for a moment before being pushed back open by Kay, with the toad otherwise inside, pressing up against it to a certain degree.
okay. And then I'm going to I'm going to look over to the dwarf. Oh, you guys got the giant frog, huh? Interesting.
The dwarf looks back at you. You can see now with your dark vision and the fact that she's holding a light at the end of her staff, kind of a slightly more scruffy, shorter beard for her, longer hair into kind of thicker plaits, kind of a large, kind of button, large bulbous nose. Always looks back at you and goes, "Yeah, no kidding. And we came here to do your job." Okay. That's the end of your turn. Kirv and Cat. Which one of you two would like to go first?
Oh, if you can go first if you want.
I think it would be Kirv would sort of watch to see more so. So if you would like to go first.
Neither of us want to go first. Okay.
The answer to this problem.
Okay, we'll take both of their turns. Yep.
Okay, so it's 5 foot to get out of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's 5 foot there, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And then where would you roughly like to go? Currently, you haven't really got a bead on the giant toad. You can just about see it past the door, and it has got 3/4 cover. But you can generally see that its location.
Okay. Don't want to kill the toads.
Bit to the list.
I just shush you. Shush. I don't have much in the way of spells either. Okay.
Remember
These
what we
boards.
discussed?
Yeah, I know. I know. I don't.
If you want to roll those d10s, you can.
Crimes against toad kind.
Maybe.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna kind of hide behind Vinny.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll flicking through my spell book. I am curious. I am
Okay.
going to use the black phage.
Okay. Vinny, you note as Cat otherwise rushes up behind you, she rifles through her book, and you watch as her book stops flicking through it and kind of stops unexpectedly with this black page floating out of the center of her book. As she tears it off, go ahead and roll me 2d10. Denote which one is the left one and which one is the second one.
Oh, I do have d10s.
Yep.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay. Okay. This would be... Okay, so this would be... Okay. Okay.
What?
Okay. With a 1, that's really good. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. So, first of all, you are casting this at such a level. Hold on. Remind me. How much would a 6th level spell cost?
9 points.
Okay, you take 9 points of damage. I would like you to roll me 6d6, please.
How bad does this affect K?
Not at all. This is a concentration spell, I would like you to know as well.
Okay.
Okay. You watch, Vinny, as Cat otherwise tears this black page off, and you watch as there's this screaming gas of what looks to be this dark black and purple crackling energy that shoots out past your shoulder and snakes into the toad, and you watch as the toad begins to wither. Cat, you gain 3 strength, 5 dexterity, 1 constitution, 1 intelligence, 5 wisdom, and 1 charisma. The creature's wisdom drops to 0. It is now a mindless creature that cannot speak.
I gained what? That was a lot of stuff.
For 1 minute, you will gain, keep these 66 ready, these increase your stats in proportion to where they are. Top to bottom, strength to everything else.
Okay, right.
As you steal the giant toad's stats. Or some of the giant toad's stats. So note that these are temporary increases going beyond your maximums.
Okay, right. Okay, cool.
The toad's dexterity decrease. Toad's dexterity decrease also means that it's now on half movement as well. Okay. Okay. So Vinny, you watch this as this happens, but you watch as this does. You watch as these cracks begin to form across Cat's form. You watch her arms grow a bit bulkier. She becomes that almost like a flickering bit faster. And you note that her eyes almost grow slightly aged with the casting of this spell. But at the same time, you see blood begin to almost burst from veins which swelled too much with pressure, but then seal back over instantly with the casting of this spell.
Okay.
Do you want
Most of the strangers would have a difficult time seeing her while she's behind me.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so very few would have seen this go off. Okay. Notably, does your con go over its maximum currently, Jamie? Or cut not over its maximum. It goes up to 14. So you will recover 5 hit points as a result of this as well.
Hey.
Because your con increased.
Nice. I'm gonna put the 5 in temp HP
Okay.
and then take that out after.
Yep, that's fine by me.
I am blooded, by the way.
You are bloodied now. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and I'll say that Kirv, given you'd be leaving the cave at the same time, you would have seen this as well.
I see what happens to Cat.
You see what happens to the toad, and where the toad almost begins to slip, its feet are unable to kind of keep itself upright. You note that its eyes just go completely jaded and blank.
So, Kirv. So Kirv is just walking out of here. I think she'd come up to like just behind
The boxes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sort of trying to hide how much she's relieved that, oh my gosh, we're out of there. And you said she has seen the toad thing.
Yes.
So she turns to both sort of Vinny and Cat and is just like, what even is that?
Kay replies, "It's not a goose."
It looks like a big frog. No idea what the hell it's doing here.
Frog?
Oh my god.
Yeah, a frog. Do you not know what frog is?
I heard their legs are tasty.
Oh.
Do you guys have many frogs like that?
Well, the world has frogs, varying sizes, yes.
Although, to be clear, this one isn't ours.
Yeah.
It ate these people's nice goblin.
Nice goblin.
Queso
assume
wants
they
to
were
say
nice.
it. Queso wants to say it.
The toad's goblin, our goblin!
I was gonna say I heard goblin is tasty too.
Oh no.
And the little one with the ears, they gonna be alright?
That's the goblin! If you can get him out, then great! It says there's the dwarf shouting at you now.
Actually talking about Kay, but sorry, what did the dwarf say
The
again?
dwarf said if you can get our goblin out, then great.
Get me in its mouth and I'll get it out. Send me in, coach.
Could I help at all with Mage Hand to get Kay in there?
If it were to open its mouth again, I imagine you could. If you wanted to hold your action to use the mage hand as almost like a potential blockade to give Kay
Yeah.
advantage next time.
Sure. I sort of say, I'll see what I can do. If you're
Okay.
sure.
Okay. You hold mage hand, kind of holding your hand up as it begins to form in kind of this dark spectral hand as you hold it there in place for the moment, waiting to use
It'll
it
be
to
a
grab hold
crow
of
claw.
the... Yeah. Alright. And next up is Damian and Romulus' turn. Romulus is going to rush out 5, 10, 15, it's 20. And what would he do here?
Be honest, I'd be very surprised if he didn't just reach in and grab him out.
He is going to take a swing with the Dane axe from this distance in an attempt to hit. He's going to reckless this because there's no reason not to, given the thing probably can't hit him. Probably. That will hit against 3/4 cover. Dane axe does a d10. So it's 14 damage.
Ouch.
Followed by another hit, which is another 14 damage. 28 damage. Alright. Nice going, Romulus. As Romulus takes 2 heavy swings, each one carving into this and cutting through portions of the door as he does so. I'll say alleviating it to half cover for everybody else. As he cuts through the door, breaking it down and carving through portions of the giant toad, it begins to grumble and moan as it begins to as it's shifting in place, unable to really dodge, given its AC has been reduced by quite a bit. And it fails its con save. To which you watch as Romulus cuts into this thing. You watch as the giant toad spits up the goblin that otherwise tumbles at your feet, Kay. I'll say he's prone behind you for the sakes of this. You watch as the goblin kind of wipes itself and goes, ah! With the mouth open.
I would like to try and get in it still.
We will. I'll say using your reaction, you can do so if you wish.
Yes.
Okay, and Kirv, you're assisting, so go ahead and roll with advantage on an acrobatics check, please.
Acrobatics.
Okay, just as well. As you hold the mouth, as Kay goes to jump into this thing's mouth. Now with the goblin free, the dwarf looks at this action with a bit of confusion as to why this is happening. But as this happens, you watch as it would close its mouth, but Kirv's spectral Ravenclaw grabs hold of the bottom jaw, stopping it from closing, and Kay slides inside. You slide down the throat, kind of the slickness of it, and you end up in this squeezed belly. You are now grappled and restrained and blinded while you're in here.
I don't need the sea to attack. It is everywhere.
True. Still with a disadvantage, but yes. And you'll be taking a bit of acid damage at the beginning of your turn when we get there.
I am perfectly okay with that.
Next up, on the other hand, is the toad, who, given the amount of damage he's taken... Oh, sorry, yes. Damian! Sorry, Damian, it was your go.
This is like the second time in like 4 sessions you've done this!
Sorry. Damian, go!
Trying to get rid of me already.
Not that bad.
So 5 to move out. 10,
Yep.
15, 20.
20.
Get there.
Yep. 20 to get to there. Yeah.
I'm assuming I can't get here.
You can through allies, yes.
Ah, brilliant. In that case, Damian is going to launch a hand axe at it.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh, damn, now what's the dice again?
It is a d6 for a hand axe, so it's just a d20 and d6.
Thank you.
And it's only got half cover now because of the door being slightly damaged, and its AC has been decreased thanks to Cat stealing its dexterity.
Right, and I don't know
That
what the hell's
hits.
gonna hit anyway.
So
I don't know what
5
the
plus.
plus to damage is because I haven't got it written down. I still need to add.
Be
hand
plus your
axes to my-
strength, so that should be plus 3, so that'll be 8
Yes.
damage. Okay.
Ooh.
Nice. You lob one hand axe into this thing as it catches into the hide and leaves it in a rather nasty state, and it is now significantly injured.
And I can do it again.
You can
I've got a
indeed. If
second
you
attack.
have a second
Oh,
attack and you have a second hand axe, you can indeed.
I've got 3 hand axes, so these will be 2 of my hand axes being thrown at it.
Okay.
Just don't let it get away. You can get them back.
Oh,
Nope.
that one.
The second one, as you throw it, it hits into the door, bounces off the hinge. And I'm going to roll for an attack against the dwarven cleric there. See if he gets hit. Okay. That is a natural 20. So as you throw the axe, you throw it, it hits the hinge, ricochets off through some abstract and very unknown reason, and just like some of those comedy films, sticks into his shoulder, dealing 2d6, because it's a crit. 10 damage to him. Aye,
just
watch
pops-
where you're throwing those.
Kay's head just pops out of the toad's mouth. How did we ever make it through that cave with you? And then goes back in.
Okay.
Oh
All right.
God.
Is that your turn, Damian?
I still got a bonus action in theory, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me. Does this require? Doesn't require vision. I'm just wondering if I could cast Shield of Faith on K to lessen damage.
Oh wait, no. How much was it you stole? Oh, you stole a lot of wisdom, not a lot of intelligence. Okay, so it is still talkable with. Sorry.
Is that possible that I can cast Shield of Faith on K?
Given he's
I
already
already
inside,
saw.
I'll say make me an initiative roll. I'm gonna say, Kay, what's your AC? Currently?
17.
17. If you can beat a 17, I believe that's a 19 or a 20 on you because it's your initiative, you can hit Kay with Shield of Faith as he pokes his head back out to say, how do we make it through this with you?
Nope.
No. As he pokes his head back in, you go to try and cast Shield of Faith, but he's no longer there. You're stuck not being able to do anything, I'm afraid.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. The giant toad, on its turn, it's gonna... it swallowed K. It's going to... it's got enough intelligence to do so. It's going to try and run. So it's going to try and make a hop out of the... out of there. Okay. Okay. From the inside, you suddenly feel a lurch and then a solid hit. As the rest of you watch as the giant toad jumps up, hits the roof where it previously came in, then lands back on the floor, taking 1 point of damage from banging its head. It's then going to attempt to do so again by taking the dash action. Rolling a natural 2, lower than its natural 5, and this time takes 5 points of bludgeoning damage. As the toad fails to leave its captured area where it was left.
Wow.
Alright, well, good job, Toad.
Look, it captured itself. Okay?
That's true. It did. The goblin is going to stand up. And the goblin is going to look at the rest of you and go, that was rather unpleasant. And looks back, seeing Kay go in and goes, he's just doing this for the fun now, isn't he? And is going to throw 2 daggers at the thing.
Please hit a hinge. Please hit a door hinge.
First hit misses. Second hit, with his bonuses, I believe that... No, because it's got half cover, so no, that doesn't hit. Okay, he throws both daggers, but both of them stick into the doors, into what's left of the door, unable to get a good shot. Shit. He's going to dash past and behind you lot, back towards the cave, and just goes, I'm injured! You take it up from here! Looking at the others. You watch... Actually, no, from her perspective. She can't do anything, so she's going to hold her turn, effectively. He is going to leave. Oh, no, she is going to leave, sorry. As you watch as this giant-blooded individual, just massive in structure and build, rushes out, this great axe in hand, and is going to take a swing. Is going to flare her cold rune against the giant toad. That hits. Cold rune will do cold damage, which it is vulnerable to because it is a giant toad. So it takes 12 plus 4 plus 8. So 12 plus 4 plus 8 is 24 points of damage. Okay. Kay. On the interior of this thing, as you are inside the belly, with kind of the tongue that's slid back down, you've gone past the dangly bit at the back of the throat, as you otherwise slide down, and you're in the belly of this thing, as an axe slides just next to your face, and you watch as the area around it immediately bursts into an area of freezing energy. I'm going to say you take 2 points of cold damage, because you are technically shielded from this. but the rune burst goes off, and they didn't necessarily know that you jumped inside of it. When this happens, you feel a slump as the rest of you watch as this thing begins to bleed out. Okay, you have a really easy incision to make your way out if you wish to, as the giant toad has now been killed.
Well, I'm going to make it look like I'm struggling to get out, but I'm eating it. I'm eating as much of this thing as I can before they can see me.
Okay. I'll say make me 2 attack rolls, because obviously you have extra attack. Each one, and actually I'll do the acid damage at the beginning of your turn. So the acid damage at the beginning of your turn, you take...
Oh.
Okay, you take 3 acid damage at the beginning of your turn. You then roll your to hits, you're fine. Go ahead and roll your 2 lots of damage. So that's 2 d6s.
Oh.
Okay. Now, tell me. I'm going to give you the choice because you rolled a 6. Do you want the adhesive tongue ability?
Oh my god!
Tongue.
Adhesive tongue. Yes.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I want the adhesive tongue.
Okay. You have the adhesive tongue ability, which means that when you otherwise attack towards someone with your bite, you will automatically grapple onto them, I'm going to say. As you will become stuck to them when you do so. The DC for this is 14.
Nothing can escape me.
Additionally, I will say that you gain, and this will be, you gain 3 charges of that because you rolled a 6. The other one was a 4, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you get 2 uses of amphibious, meaning you can breathe air and water for an hour.
Oh.
And
Yes.
And you get 2 charges of that, and you get the adhesive tongue. Okay.
Adhesive.
Grapple target you successfully bite. Escape DC is, what did I say, 14? I've put the book away now. Or was it 13?
14.
14. Okay. As you're otherwise biting away at it, there's a moment of pause as with the second attack from the giant individual. The axe carves in and tears you out as they reach in, grabbing the back of your head, or grabbing the back of the scruff of your neck, pulling you out as you swallow the last bit of food with the mask closing shut. And goes, "That was quite brave of you, but our friend was already out." Otherwise places you next to them, placing them next to you, or next to them. Dwarf stands back up.
It was fun.
May be the case. Are you lot the ones who were sent to clear out the mines?
Yep, I already did it. That's why we're out here now.
Right. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage, given you've all literally just walked out of the cave. Or out of the mine entrance. Okay.
Thank God for advantage.
Okay.
You said persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 18.
Yeah, versus their passive insight. Otherwise, they look you up and down and just go, "Alright, fair enough. Oh shit. I guess we better head back then. Spence, you alright? Or Finch, you alright?" The goblin looks over and goes, "I've been worse, but I'm alright now, thanks. Thanks for getting me out of there, friends."
Yep. No problem.
You
Didn't expect a frog here, though. We thought it left.
"So you faced this thing when you came in?"
Yeah, it was loitering around the entrance.
What did we make it? What did we make it grab and it smacked itself with?
It grabbed Romulus and
Oh yeah,
Run away.
it smacked itself with the big guy. It couldn't eat him.
That makes sense. You see Romulus and the half-giant are kind of squaring each other up a little bit at this point. Well,
Damian, go on.
the dwarven individual, who otherwise looks towards you, just goes, well, I guess we're done then. It's getting late. Suppose we better camp up for the night. And you said you're already done with the interior of there.
Yeah,
Yeah, all cleared out now.
so many spiders.
Fair enough. Vestra, what's it looking like in there? The elven individual comes to the door and goes, it's looking alright. Usable bunks, few cloaks. We could sleep here for the night before heading back with these folk if they want to join us.
Kay would like to see if he can insight their intentions. He trusts nobody.
Go ahead and make me an insight check. I will roll for using the ranger's stuff. Okay. Total?
That is insight. That is a 23.
23. The ranger in this instance seems to just be following orders, or doing what's best for their group. Looking in here was probably their primary intention, to look for a place to sleep, given it is getting late at night. And by the looks of it from their troop, some of them look a little bit haggard. They've seen some combat on the way here. So it's quite possible that they were going to take a rest before adventuring into the mine tomorrow. Which would mean you'd have enough... the inside would have enough time to clear the place out.
I see. Kay just nods to the rest of our group.
I suppose
Right.
we could.
Not the worst idea. Safety in numbers and all that.
Cat, your concentration ends, and your stats go back to as they were.
Cool. And the temp hit points drop to none.
Damian would like to at some point get over here and try and retrieve at least one of his hand axes. I'm assuming the other one isn't in the dwarven cleric's head currently.
No, currently not, no. I'll say in this instance you can collect your axes quite happily. I'll say this is an out-of-combat situation at this point.
And I just go to the dwarven cleric and said, I apologise for that. I haven't had much use with these so far.
Yeah, it's quite alright. Everybody's got to get used to it at some point. It's not exactly the easiest thing to get used to throwing weapons. Especially in such tight and confined situations like that.
And with this armour.
Guess that's true. Hey, at least you hit something. I'll be fine. Hands you back the hand axe.
Thank you.
So you've already gone and cleared the whole place out, huh?
Yeah.
Any loot or anything else that we can get for straggling bits in the morning? I mean, we've still got to go in there anyway. Just it'd be best to know what's ahead of us.
I mean, there's
From what they said, the spider peeps should be out by then,
morning,
right?
yeah. They were going to be working through the night, getting the jade that was on the surface and just chipping and taking it all away. Not worrying about cutting it free perfectly, just taking large chunks of the vein. And then they were going to grab what they could and they'd get out. They were going to grab what eggs they could and then they were going to leave. They were going to come back for more depending on the situation.
We thought it was best to bring the dead to the entrance to make it easier to get them. Some of them are adventurers. They might have stuff on them. We didn't look.
Fair enough. Thank you anyway for that. In such a case, we'll give it a look in the morning. French, did you want to have a quick look in the entrance and grab the mementos from them, just in case there's anyone we know, so we can maybe bury the bodies here? The goblin otherwise nods and quickly scurries away into the cavern entrance.
Well, if it
I
is,
will go with them. Can't be too careful.
Yeah, sound right with me. Go ahead.
And Kay will go with them just to make sure that the goblin doesn't get attacked by them and they stay hidden.
Okay. Are any of you particularly injured or wounded? Needing some care at all? I can set
Kay
up.
was.
Kay's not there anymore. Either once or if we haven't got too many injured, I'll wait till our friend Finch gets back and we can get everybody healed up. If you've got someone seriously hurt, I can do a quick heal for everyone.
I can certainly wait. I mean, I'm hurt, but I'm not terribly hurt.
I'm gonna kind of like tuck round the corner and
Into the marsh? Or just
well, no,
on
no,
the edge of the
you
pier?
sort of
to...
on the edge and sort of
Okay.
hide. So with my back, with that shard of glass, I'm gonna try and see my reflection. Is there any like signs of anything, or is everything
On
look
you?
okay? Yeah.
In terms of you, as you look at the shard of glass to kind of look at your face, you can see that the cracks are there and they grow and they seem to be shrinking for one reason or another. You don't entirely know the full interaction of what happened, but looking at them, they are getting smaller from a state where they were bigger than you remember them.
Okay, I'll just keep out of the way for a minute.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and make me a stealth check. I'll say with advantage, given that he's not trying to hunt for injured people. Or she, sorry, not he.
Stealth check with advantage. Okay. Still a 9.
You alright back there, little one?
Just fine. Just looking through my spell book. I think something got on one of the pages.
Yeah.
Damn mosquitoes.
Yeah. Speaking of, we probably better get inside. We don't want to get caught out by any other mishaps.
Yeah,
No,
probably
good
glad
call.
you're getting in there then.
Okay. So, is there anything anyone would like to do before we move to Kay and Finch? So you're ushered inside, and he's going to begin preparing for the night.
Do you think Romulus would want to harvest anything from the toad? You know, for
Probably something. Alright, I'll roll for general...
I was gonna go in there and also harvest. So.
Alright, meat harvest. He's got giant toad bits.
That may or may not disappear slowly.
Oh God.
No. Who knows? Romulus is going to try and make something with the toad hide. It's great for water skins.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, his inventory is atrocious. He's got a massive list already. Giant toad parts.
The mucus from the toad could be used for water resistance.
He also hasn't bothered to calculate any of the weight of a lot of this stuff as well. Okay.
Kirv would also like to turn to Vinny. And ask, how did you get here then?
Through the entrance. You were asked to come in to the cave, so...
Oh, that's
Good. That's good.
That's oh my goodness, that's just like today. Oh. One of my sisters asked, one of my other sisters asked, where did you get that glass? And the reply was from the kitchen. And it's like, no, it's not what she meant.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we got a job from town to come and investigate this mine, so we walked all the way out here and gesture over to the cave entrance. Just came in through that way.
To be fair, Kay did also mention that the frog tried to eat Romulus.
Sorry, she pauses to sort of think about this answer. You been around long?
Are you asking my age?
If you want to interpret that way.
Around the cave, not really. We came in briefly, had to leave and go back to town, and then... Well, today we got back here.
Were you born here?
No. Were you? Is that what we witnessed?
Is that how birth works?
Hey, dwarves can get stronger than the ground. So can the...
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to make a short of that. Just like the summoning scene and then this.
And then after that, you just see Kay pouring some blood into a pool. Like, come on, give me a baby.
Give me a baby, I'm hungry.
Harry has got the ritual book. So, if anyone can do it. Okay.
Location marked on chamber as birthing.
Birthing pit.
Birthing.
Kay's birthing chambers.
Interesting.
All you can eat buffet.
Unending food.
I say, I wasn't born here, no, and then just eyes him suspiciously.
I think Damian's kind of walking backwards, very concerned that this conversation is going to insight immediately.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Just like, what the hell is going on with this guy? That's not very good. That is a 9.
9. I'll say from the general state of what you're getting from this conversation is that from your experience of understanding, it's quite possible that Kirv is just confused. She doesn't seem to understand where she is. And you don't know much about her. I mean, you met her maybe few hours ago now, but otherwise, respectively, outside of the activities that you did, not all that long.
No.
So, this is a strange occurrence to have occurred.
So, if you weren't born here, then you come from somewhere. You previously had orders to retrieve a goose. Where did you come from?
Nanya.
What?
Damian, hearing this, is
There's
going to
no
go over to the
wardrobe.
cupboard and just open the wardrobe.
There's no wardrobe. You can't come from Narnia.
She finishes none of your business, alright?
What?
And Damian's taking psychic damage from somebody else.
We're only trying to help. Huh?
Take 3 points of
Okay,
psychic damage, Damian.
Okay. Well, if you need help getting back to wherever it was you come from, that isn't the pool in there, then I'm sure we can try and help.
I'm hoping that bit will figure itself out. She sort of like looks down and is like, ugh, I didn't consider that.
What, getting back home?
Wait,
I'm
I
sure once I get the goose, all will be fine.
Yeah, okay, on the note of the goose, like, is this a goose, like, proper goose, or are we talking about something that isn't a goose but you call a goose? 'Cause you called me a goat.
I could have sworn we've been over that already.
I know geese, and it's a goose.
Okay.
Have you been chasing it for long? That wasn't a.
Jesus,
Um,
hold on.
How long has it been since I appeared?
Probably about, I'd say 4 or 5 hours at most.
Well, I kind of just say that statement to the party. Oh, depends how long. When did I appear?
Wait,
Oh.
but you've only been chasing the goose since you came out that pit.
Yes.
So you were given the orders directly before leaping into something or going through something and then appearing out a pit down in that cave.
Not directly before, but like a day.
Huh.
Did I get that right, Chris? Was it a day?
Yeah, about a day, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Okay. And when you came here, where you originally were from, did you go through a doorway or something, or did you just?
It's just a whoosh, and then I was covered in gunk.
Okay. Huh.
That sounds like when I try and have a wash but on a bad day.
Oh, Damian. Oh, Damian. Okay. Well, noted. We'll keep an eye out for the goose. We'll try and draw some maybe posters to help find this goose. Possibly.
That
He's quite good at
It's
drawing.
a
Might be able to
genius
help.
idea. I see why you're the leader.
Damian just goes back inside without a word.
Okay. Well, shall we like get in and find a place to stay, sleep, rest? It's been a big day for all of us. Some of us more than others, but
Kirv sort of rubs her arm and is like, "Do you need anyone to stay watch? Keep watch?"
yeah, we normally take it in turns. Normally, but we have a much bigger party than normal, obviously with the others. So I dare say between the two parties here, we'll have like small watch parties.
Okay.
As long as we're
I'd
staying
be
inside,
happy
we
to
should
go
be-
first. Sorry, what was that?
As long as we're staying inside, we shouldn't be in too much danger.
You think it'll be dangerous?
Well, I mean, there's a swamp.
Probably not, but I mean,
Swamps
was the-
tend to be dangerous?
Well,
Question mark.
there's animals, just wild animals that appear. I mean,
Appear? Like,
well, they
Which-
exist out there, but they might roam over here.
I mean, the giant
The-
frog, for example, that was that alligator we found on the way here.
She doesn't know about the alligator.
No, but
alligator?
Yeah, there was a big alligator, lots of teeth.
Ugh.
Yeah, I saw it eat a goose. Steps
They-
back in.
What?
Damian!
Ate a goose.
It didn't.
What did the goose look like? This is very important.
David's working his back out. Well, it had 6 legs, 4 wings, set of teeth in like a great big maw.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had 8 eyes, if memory serves.
Got mage hand
it
and give him a
was-
slap on the back of the head.
And tell me, what color was this goose?
Oh, it was bright pink.
I think that must be someone else's goose.
Hang on, the 4 wings that. The thing that threw you off was it was pink?
Have you seen a goose before, Kev?
Yes, I work.
And that
He
matches
sort of suddenly holds
description.
himself back. Yes, I know geese.
You've seen an 8-eyed, 4-winged, 6-legged goose before?
Well, not one of that specific description, but you know.
So you've seen something like that, just not pink.
Uh, well, I know the breed I'm looking for, right?
Ah. Yeah, I understand.
so if we find your goose, you'll recognize it on sight then.
Should do, yeah.
Does it have a name?
Okay, that simplifies things.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, because at least one of our party can speak to animals, so we could always ask its name before we, give it to you, just to make sure it is indeed your one. It's not a case of mistaken identity.
We're not really one for naming animals.
So you're after a quarry, but you don't know its name. You just know its description.
Yes.
So
I
you
know its
could-
eyes.
What?
I
How
know its
many of the
eyes.
eyes?
I look, I look at Cat like 2, obviously.
Okay, well, it's good to know, and I feel reassured that it only has 2 eyes.
You just hear Damian as he walks back in, muttering to himself, "What the hell did I see then?"
Okay, I'm just gonna go indoors.
Mhm.
Just go heading to like a distant corner bed and trying to work out how I'm even gonna function in this thing. Oh, I call top bunk.
Good luck getting up there.
Romulus being crushed.
Well, I don't want
Added to
Romulus
war
above
crimes.
me. Yeah, it's gonna end badly.
You're heavier than Romulus.
Crushed
I
father.
know.
Yeah, it's kind of a lose-lose situation.
Bunks were not designed for me.
Well, let's put it this way then. Okay, Romulus will be on the bottom bunk. Damian can be on top. Cat can be on the bottom bunk, and someone can be paired with Cat.
Cat's happy to be on the bottom bunk.
Mhm.
Alright,
It has
Kirv
no
runs up
option to
and
be on the
is
bottom bunk.
like... Okay. Kirv runs up and is just like, yeah, I've never had the chance to be top bunk.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll say, Vinny, you're waiting for Finch and Kay.
Yeah, I'll wait for him to get back in.
Speaking of, Kay, as you follow Finch in, he kind of skitters in. He's a lot faster than you, surprisingly. You're used to being very fast amongst your party. Cat and Romulus have their edge because they are generally quite fast folk. Their size aids with that. But in your case, a little folk who is much faster than you is a little bit surprising. As he runs in and kind of stops and looks around in the at the room in question. Looks around at the bodies and goes, "Right, alright." And as you kind of reach the entranceway to where he is, you can see that he's very quietly and carefully lifting portions of the silk and taking what looks to be mementos and just shoving them into a bag. And just going around and doing that for all of them. With his investigation, he also finds other bits and pieces as well.
Interesting.
You note that he pulls free from the rest of the bodies, the stuff which you guys missed overall throughout, because I believe you gave a cursory check to all of them as opposed to an in-depth check for a few of them.
Yeah, I just gave cursory in
Yeah.
general because
Yeah.
didn't want to take too much time.
Yeah, that makes sense. As you otherwise look to see what he's doing, he's being very thorough and very careful. And you watch at one point when he kind of carefully slides his hand inside of the silk and kind of tucks his hand into a particular point and pulls free what looks to be a piece of jade, one that had been missed. It's not a sizable piece by any means, but it's still a chunk of jade that you had missed. And kind of tucks that into a separate bag to one side and picks up whatever remaining coins and cash are in the area around. He sees you in the room, unless you wish to make a stealth check to hide from him.
I will be stealthy, but yeah, yeah, I'm gonna scare him.
Okay, go ahead and
Like
make
that-
me
I
a
feel like
stealth.
that'll be fun. Okay, that is 21.
21. Okay. As you otherwise follow up behind him, him not noticing you as you come up close, he walks out into kind of the middle of this chamber and pulls open a map, similar the same as yours, and kind of looks at it. Okay. Right.
Kid just comes over and looks over his shoulder. What you looking at?
Don't scare me like that. The map still says that there are enemies in the cave. Was there anything in here
Oh.
that wasn't something that you killed?
There were, what were the thingies in the water?
Water mites? Or water fleas?
Yeah,
There were like water flea things in the water.
Ah, right. Well, they're not our business then. We were only here for spiders. Still says the place has some traps in it, though, so we need to be careful. Ours is linked to yours, so anything that you didn't activate and saw will still be on here, so that might be why there are still traps around. I've noted that there's another way down, and he turns and points to the hidden entrance on the south side of the room. I'm guessing you didn't want to disturb the obvious trap/blockade, and gestures to the minecart that's been webbed up and blocked in place.
Yes.
Well,
it didn't look like fun. Plus, we have some big people that couldn't make it through that.
That makes sense. It'll be the same with us. Alright, well, if you've already blazed the trail through there, we'll give it a look in the morning.
Alright.
He
Well,
pauses for a moment, and kind of looks around the room again, and then goes and walks back with you.
did it look like his attention was drawn to anything specific?
Make me an insight check.
Insight. That is a 22.
Okay. As you otherwise look at him and gauge where he's looking and following his eye line, you realise that the entrance down was re-webbed back up. There was no feasible way for you to have gotten through there. Something is amiss in his mind, but he seems to have dismissed it for now, which suggests that hopefully, provided he doesn't try to come down here on his own during the night, the operation will go smoothly.
Alright, well then I will... Kay's going to be willingly taking a point of exhaustion to try and make sure he does nothing foolish in the night.
Okay, staying up all night to make sure, and keeping watch during that whole time. Understood?
Yep.
Okay. So, they return. Simon, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah. The two of them return. Fench and Kay otherwise walking back. This Fench kind of looks up and goes, "Looks like it's all good. Got the mementos. We can otherwise pass them back to their families once they're done. You can take them back to town if you want, or we can carry them. I mean, we're going to be sticking around and picking this place dry of anything that might be of interest to us. Making sure everything's alright. Deactivating the traps and such."
I so wanna watch them fall through my other trap. The one that was hidden very, very well. We are not sure where to turn said things in, so it's probably best if you guys take them.
Sounds fair. Alright, well, let's get some rest. I could do with a little bit of healing.
Same.
As you otherwise head through the door, the dwarven individual looks up and just goes, you need any healing, Fench? From being inside of that thing? A little bit wouldn't go amiss, but it's not like I'm gonna need it. The dwarf otherwise nods and goes, I'll do it anyway. Anyone who's injured, gather round. I'm gonna quickly say a quick calm to nature and see how things go.
I'm assuming Romulus is hurt, so Romulus will be coming. Vinny, are you hurt?
Romulus, is he hurt? I don't know.
Slightly. I will go around.
No, Romulus is fine. Romulus is on 3 off of max. He's fine.
Kay's almost at half.
Okay.
That is very much below half.
So, Kay, Cat, Fench. So I can do up to 8 targets. So Fench, Kay, Cat, the giant-blooded individual. Anyone else on their team injured that they'd want healed up? Other than the dwarf who you injured, yeah, so they'll count themselves. So 3 of them and 5 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay. Everyone gains... that's about average. Everyone gains 13 points of healing.
Nice.
That is exactly what I was missing. So thank you.
21. Nice.
And that puts them up to 69. Anyway,
Kay will offer to take first watch and he will head outside after receiving his healing.
okay.
As soon as he gets outside, he's going to try and find a decent place to try and hide. So that when his watch ends, he can hide there and nobody will know.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. Okay.
Investigation.
Looking around, the box is probably the best place to be. No one's touched the boxes in ages, and by the looks of it, from what you did and what they seem to have done as well, they investigated the boxes on entrance, and they're empty, which you know and understand. Anything that was in them has rotted away or been claimed. So, nothing of interest.
Alright, well, then a box is where I will hide when the time comes.
You will be joined by the elven individual and one of your other party members if you wish. I can say Romulus if you don't, if nobody else everyone else wants to interact.
I'll go for it.
You'll go for it? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you three will be outside. Okay. And you begin to get to sleep. So you've got Cat on the bottom bunk, Vinny on that one, Romulus on that one, Damian on there, and then these two will be on these beds. Okay. So, with first watch coming up, the elven figure otherwise leans up against the side there, a crossbow in front of him as he's kind of slowly twiddling with something, and has what looks to be a small, almost rune wrapped around his right hand, which gives off a ever so slight and faint glow, almost like that of a firefly. Nothing major, just enough to provide enough light for you guys to be able to see on this particular night, which is dense fog. So that means you'll be
let's
rolling
go.
disadvantage on your perception checks. So, is there anything you wish to do while on watch?
Kay will be, Kay, since Kay can't make a sandwich currently,
Mm-hmm.
Kay will be, dealing with more reading of the book.
Okay.
Just to try and get to the point where he can understand the book.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation.
And Kirv, you may drum up a conversation if you wish. Ooh, natural 20.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll say you progress 2 stages. You have 2 more stages to go until you can understand it.
Sweet.
Kirv just turns to the elf and says, "Nice ears."
Okay.
Kay would like the insight to see how this elf feels about this.
Go ahead.
First watch initiates combat.
Go ahead and roll me an insight. Also, disadvantage because you're reading your book, and this is kind of an offhand comment. Even with disadvantage, that's really good.
Insight?
Mm-hmm.
That is another 22.
22. You look at the elf, kind of hearing this and instinctively looking at the elf. The elf is taken aback as he kind of looks at you. Looks at you, Kirv, and just goes, I would say not too bad yourself. Are you purposefully trying to offend me, or...
Offend? No, I wish my ears went up that high. My sisters always said that my ears were ugly.
Go ahead and roll me your choice of a persuasion or deception check, depending on what
Oh,
if you're
persuasion.
lying or okay, you're being genuine. Okay, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check then.
You have sisters?
Sorry, I will respond. 4 plus 7, 13.
13. Nice. Oh no, 11. That would be 4 plus 7.
Oh fuck! What am I doing? I can't do maths today.
That's fine. Maths is hard. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
The elven individual otherwise looks at you and just kind of goes, aha. To which Kay you said,
Have I got sisters?
Sisters?
Yes. And brothers. Too many.
Huh. What's that like?
Crowded. Annoying.
Huh. Never really had siblings.
Don't worry. You haven't missed out on much.
Didn't have
Usually-
parents either.
No parents? Did you just whoosh into existence too?
I don't know. I just was here.
How curious. Nice mask, by the way.
Thank you.
And I sort of pulled down my mask to show the sort of the sack kind of with like scarecrow eyes and mouth cut out of it. And I say, I made this one myself.
you can see that the eyes and mouth are stitched over with basic string to kind of hold the holes together. But as she otherwise pulls it over, it very much gives very much like a scarecrow vibe.
Huh. Nice. Apparently, my mask is like some other people's masks, and I didn't even know. I've had this for a while.
I was going to say, you did kind of look like a plague knight.
Yeah, I didn't even know those guys were a thing.
What are plague knights?
They
Okay.
they are knights like the shiny one in there, but they deal with diseases and plagues.
Shiny knights that deal with plagues.
And they're not. They're knights like him, but they dress more like me.
Okay.
They're
Hmm.
dark knights.
Dark knights. That sounds kind of cool. Huh.
So how's your group's adventuring doing?
The elven individual looks at you and just goes, I mean, on the way here we had to deal with a few giant mosquito swarms that showed up. Heat of the day, I think, riled them up. Attacked us on the walkway here.
Huh. Haven't seen those. I
Yeah.
saw a giant. How would Kay describe this? Because he doesn't know that that's a crocodile.
A lizard.
A giant armored lizard.
Your friends mentioned an alligator, is that what you mean?
Oh, that's what that's called? I don't know. I'm guessing so.
Yeah, nasty things. Luckily we haven't come across any yet, but even if we did, I'm sure we'd have it handled.
It ran away from me.
And your group's something. You got numbers on us, though. Other than that, we mostly just work for the pioneers as a cleanup crew. Travel to areas that have been claimed to have been finished, and then we deal with it. We grab the scraps from what gets left over. Not much of a exciting life, but it certainly pays well.
I see.
Just nodding, pretending that she has an idea what they're talking about.
Kay kind of like holds out his book to the elven individual. Nobody in my group could understand this. Can you?
They take it. I need to quickly check something.
Hey, attention everyone, good news. You're all getting fine. I think I fixed the problem.
Please don't tell me it'll kill him.
Nope, that's fine.
Oh my god.
Nope, I needed to check whether rangers benefit from the ritual casting section of spell casting.
Back in with the corpse and go up to the dwarf guy. Can you heal this?
The ranger otherwise looks it over and kind of goes, "Yeah, this is a purify disease spell. In a ritual fashion, by the looks of it. Seems to have been marked, though. Something's off about it. Either it's been altered or changed for something specific, or maybe it's been marked by a mishap."
Interesting. Found it inside. Didn't know what it was. Been trying to read it.
I mean, it's written in partial Elvish, so I wouldn't have imagined the cleric would have had it in here unless they had a fondness for writing in Elvish.
Partial Elvish?
Partial Elvish, yes.
Since this is technically true, we got it from one of the silk spinner things inside.
Oh, so this was a silk spinner raid. Fair enough. In which case, yeah, then that would explain why it's written in Elvish. Can't say why it's been damaged, though. You said you took it off of one of them?
Yes. We interrupted a ritual they were doing.
Now to do it. That would explain why the ritual markings are smudged and damaged. You'll have to restore it if you want to get it back to proper use for what you want, but otherwise it seems to have had some form of other language mixed in. Can't say I know what it is.
Probably spider.
What was that, Kirv?
Can Kirv have a quick look at the book to see if she recognizes it?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Ooh.
Unless you're trained in Arcana, this would be, actually.
I don't think I am. No.
No, okay.
So that's roll 16 and then 14.
14, okay. Looking at over, you've never really been one for magic, per se, but you can read portions of it. Where there are smudges and damages, it looks like the parts of the rune and the ritual portions of it, part of it has been converted into Infernal.
Oof, it's in Cyrillic? That's not good.
Infernal.
Is that what this is?
Check quickly checks character sheet. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Looks like normal writing to me.
Ah. Well, you got your two halves of the puzzle there, friend. Passes the ritual book back to UK. Now I guess it's just a matter of deciphering it and figuring out how you can use it. Magical runes should usually be universal. The language in the written section of runes, on the other hand, would be difficult, but in terms of ritualistic situations like this, you should still be able to use parts of it if you've got a magical knack for it.
I see. Well, I guess we'll see if I have a magical knack for it. I've never really used magic before.
Well, it's always a chance to try and learn. You'd be surprised what magic you can pick up in places.
Ain't that the truth?
You never know what you'll pick up from magic either.
That's true.
Picking some random person.
That's true. Alright. I would like each of you to make me a perception check with disadvantage because of the heavy fog. Oh, that's a natural 1 for the ranger. So discount them for being able to help.
Oh, nat 20.
Disadvantage, so you take the lower.
No. Okay, that sucks.
It sucks, doesn't it?
So it'd be a 9. Okay.
That's
And-
awful.
It's okay. It'll take you another 5 sessions to get another nat 20.
Yeah.
Don't forget to add your plus for perception as well. And Kay, what did you get?
Sorry.
I got an 11 total.
11 total. Looking around with the 11 total, you can see... You don't see anything in particular. Actually, I need to roll for night encounters to see if anything comes up, actually.
Wonderful.
You know, these things could happen. Okay, so
Yep.
night encounters, I need to roll a d20. Okay. During this time, the ranger doesn't seem to know or doesn't seem to care, but the two of you during the night hear the sounds of distant croakings. All of these kind of hawks and wails almost drawn out before you hear what sounds to be scuffling a ways off, the general splashing of water, before it stills and then just goes back to this general insect buzz and harmony.
Sure, that's nothing to worry about.
Probably. Well, seems to be good for tonight. Well, for now.
Okay. You head back in and and continue the rest of your rest. Second
As
watch.
they turn around to go in, I am slipping into the box.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and make me a stealth check. And I will let you choose if you wish to re-roll in between watches.
I will most likely be re-rolling in between watches.
Okay. So total for the moment is
That is a 16.
16. Okay. Next up, who will be taking second watch?
I'm happy to do so.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
Right
who's joining us.
Damian and Kat. Okay. I will say, given you two are taking watch, I will have the... Vinny, who would you like to be paired with out of these three? Given that you're going to get the unfortunate thing of having Romulus. Just because he's not here.
Let's go for
You-
dwarf.
Okay. In which case,
Just want the evil Yoda.
I will pair the giant blooded with you two. So, as the two of you otherwise head outside, kind of taking up your post and watch for this. Cat. You note that Kay is still out here, and he's kind of crouched into the box.
Yeah, B.
I will go over to the box. You okay?
You're not supposed to come over to the box.
How am I meant to know this?
I'm trying to hide.
Last time you tried to hide, you scared the crap out of me.
The giant-blooded kind of is standing next to this door and goes, "Well, can't see anything in this damn fog. I'm gonna head back inside where there's light and just keep an eye out from the inside."
Get a distant reply from Damian of, yeah, same here.
You heading back inside so you can actually see stuff with the
Oh
light
no, I'm
inside?
happy to still just stay out there just in case I'm needed.
Oh, in which case, they'll stay out here, but for the time being, they can't see squat because they don't have dark vision.
Yeah, no, do I?
Neither does Damian.
Out of interest, though, is my mace still illuminated, given it's still within 24 hours?
Yes, it would be actually, yeah. Unless you snuffed it out, yeah, you'd still have that. So
No,
never mind,
it's
you'd
like
have
that.
light. You'd have a light source, yeah. So in which case,
So
the
Oh my goodness.
giant blooded in this case, unfortunately, no, because that was a roll without disadvantage, so I didn't bother rolling a second time because I rolled an actual 1. They haven't noticed you at all, Kay. They seem to have just seen Cat walk over and begin talking to a box and think it's natural.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So, what are you trying to achieve in the box?
I'm just making sure that Goblin doesn't mess up anything.
What? Why would he?
I will explain it later.
Okay. Okay. I'll look over my shoulder, realizing they're probably looking at me. Such a pretty box. Just being hopelessly bad at disguising stuff.
Just make it look like you're talking to your chain again. They'll
Oh,
find that weird enough.
But it's not weird. Cychania actually is. Look, she's alive. See?
They don't know that.
Damian chirps in, are you talking to your chain again, Cat?
Well,
Say yes.
yes.
Ah.
Roll me a persuasion
you and
check. I'm going to say with disadvantage counteracted by the advantage that these two are providing you. It's a flat roll. It's a
Oh, what, a
deception check.
persuasion?
Deception
A deception.
check. And then the giant blood is going to half-heartedly insight this. What's your total? Mine's 3.
Oh, yeah, okay.
6, and he still didn't. Can we just send him back indoors? He's clearly not going to do us favours.
She's otherwise seems to be
She.
preoccupied with keeping an eye out in the area.
Okay, right. Okay. Sure, okay.
Not half bad on her perception.
I'm gonna just gonna walk over to Damian. Like, I don't know. If he jumps out at me, I don't know. I don't trust him in a box. Okay, I'm going to send out Jeff to check out the surrounding area.
Okay. With Jeff heading out, go ahead and roll me a perception check for Jeff, please.
Yes, pause the encounter.
Given it's a heavy foggy night, this is still with disadvantage.
Yeah, despite the fact he normal has advantage.
Oh, right, because of the just being an owl.
Yeah.
So that'd be
Yeah.
fine, yeah. So just flat roll.
But it's still crap.
Okay.
Jeff, you failed me. What is your thing? +3, so that's 8.
8. Okay. As Jeff is otherwise flying around, kind of giving a general look in the area around you, you've got the light from Damian's mace, otherwise illuminating the immediate area around you. It's not too
Okay,
bright
there
as
you
to
go.
blind against the fog, but it's bright enough to be able to see. As Jeff flies around the area, getting a general look, there's a moment where you see what looks to be movement nearby. And you see what looks to be a form walking along the walkway in your party's general direction. See what looks to be a light floating and swinging backwards and forwards.
Oh. Hey.
Hmm?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both of you. I'm literally just poking them both, being really
Yes.
annoying. There's someone coming this way.
The
Well, normally people just generally wander through a bio in the middle of the night. I guess I'll go over and say hello.
giant blood stands up, kind of grabbing their axe. Really? You're gonna go up and say hello?
No, that was sarcasm, madam.
You'll learn. You'll learn. If he gets the apples out, don't take any.
I
of the
don't
stick.
want to learn.
Okay, don't learn then. But if he
Damien
gets the
turned
apples,
around
don't
with a
tolerate it.
Damien turns around with a scowl on his face. How dare you? That's so rude. You've only just met as well.
Okay, so you're just waiting passively for this?
No. Damien is going to
Go and say hello.
Damien's got a light source, so he can't actually hide exactly.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to do this?
How far away roughly is it from us?
I'd probably say maybe 100 feet, but it's making a very slow saunter in your general direction, down the ramp from the northwestern direction. So
Oh.
further
So-
away from Drell than otherwise.
So it's further up, about 100 foot away. It's very slow.
Should we extinguish the lights?
Sure, because if it's something that is wanting to fight us, not being able to see it would be fun.
Yeah, but it won't be able to see us.
You note that the light
Hopefully.
disappears.
Well, that's that then. I guess that solves that argument.
Hearing that something is coming and that the direction that it is, Kay is going to send one of his rats to investigate it.
Okay.
To see it. Basically, it's just it has the orders of going and looking at this person and then coming back and letting me know if they look hostile or not.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and make me a stealth check and then a perception check for the rat, please.
Stealth is on the left, perception is on the right.
Do you know the stats for a rat, or should I grab them real quick?
Well, its perception is no.
No. Okay. So the rat disappears for a bit and comes back, and you get the general response of
Oh.
can't say. Oh well, telepathically it would be. Didn't see anyone.
Kay just looks at a crack in the box at Cat and is just like, "Are you sure?" Not saying "Are you sure," but
Thinking it.
"Are you sure something's coming?"
Oh, I
Which
mean,
way is it coming from, Cat?
up there, and I point up the path.
Damien sticks his head out and has a look.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check with disadvantage because of heavy fog.
God, it'd be hilarious if we rolled 2 nat 20s.
I mean, I'm sure it'd be fine, right? The last person that skulked around in the dark turned out to be alright.
Oh, that's not good.
We made friends.
Was that? Sorry, a perception.
Mhm.
That's a 5.
5. Okay.
The high rollers today.
Alright.
You look down the bridgeway. You can't see past anything in the heavy fog.
Are you sure, Cat? I actually lose what Kay's thinking.
For one second, are you sure? Well, look, I saw him. Can Jeff still see him?
Jeff saw the light wink out. Go ahead and roll me another perception check for Jeff, please.
Come on, Jeff. Please. Well, that's a 11.
An 11.
They're gradually getting better.
Jeff, otherwise looking down there, just generally sees the mist and the fog and is unable to really see any forms. Where there was originally this pole sticking up a little bit and there was a light swaying backwards and forwards from the end of the pole, that disappears. As if taken down or removed. And now, just with the heavy fog below, Jeff can't see, without potentially getting closer.
Damien's heading back next to Cat.
I'm going to send Jeff in, but ready to take a decisive dodge if he needs to.
Okay.
Can Kay tell if this person is paying attention to Cat?
The individual
Since Cat
is.
saying it.
The individual. I'll say, given your perception in this case, they're currently relying on their own eyes more than they're relying on Cat.
Okay. I was gonna just try and sneak out of the box and get on like the roof or something and take a look around.
Yeah, where they're currently looking in this direction, it'll be quite difficult to sneak out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a flat roll for both of you. So it'll be their perception versus your stealth if you wanted to try it, because you'd have the advantage of the heavy fog, whereas they have the disadvantage of the heavy fog, despite them having the advantage because of how close they are, versus the disadvantage of being how close you are.
I think Kay would try it because they have already mentioned that they can't see very well in the dark.
Go for it.
So
Actually, Damian,
Kay
you
will-
snuffed your light, didn't you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't.
Asked if I should, but
Okay.
I haven't.
Oh, I thought you did. Alright.
I think we got confused. I thought that the light was snuffed out was Damian's light,
No.
not the not
No,
what
the
was coming
creature's
to us.
light. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of where our confusion was.
Ah, okay. Okay.
In that case, Kay will not try it because the light is still on.
Okay.
If the light goes out, Kay will try.
Remember, Cat's
Okay.
also got a light on her dagger still, because I shared
Yeah,
it
but
with
that's sheathed.
her. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you've just got a
And-
dim glow coming out of a scabbard.
Yeah, effectively. And Kat, what were you doing with Jeff?
So taking him in closer, but I will essentially hold my action for if I see it take a swing at Jeff.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another perception check then, please.
Come on, die. Be a friend. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Jeff flies down and doesn't see anything, nor is pulled back for emergency reasons. Whatever was there seems to have gone.
Well, whatever was there is not. The light kind of went out, and I can't find it anymore. Whether it's moved into the shadow, I don't know.
That does alarm me quite a bit.
Maybe I'm just tired.
I'm very tempted to investigate, because if there's any sign that that thing was there, and its light has gone out and it's returning to find more people to attack us in the morning, I don't want that. Looks at the giant-blooded individual.
I can go with. Can't say I'd be much use without the light, though.
I've got my light, so we can have a look from my light.
Okay.
I can go with.
I'd rather somebody was here just
I
to...
was gonna leave Jeff here if something happened.
Jeff won't be able to defend the people
No.
who are sleeping in the...
No.
Sorry.
I was gonna come with. Leave Jeff on the box.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm just gonna lean on the box. If Jeff knocks you on the head, we're in trouble.
Okay. The giant-blooded individual kind of goes, "You can't expect much help from a box, but okay." Is gonna take steps out with, and you're going with as well, Kat?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. As you all wander out into the night.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, I'm
Okay.
I'm
trying to
genuinely
take
basically being Strider, just doing some tracking, just seeing if there's any footsteps or hints.
I will say,
Yes.
go ahead and make me your choice of investigation or perception checks, you lot. You have disadvantage on these because of the darkness.
Right.
Or the fog.
investigation.
I should say.
Definitely doing investigation, because that makes sense. What are you doing, Kat?
I'm doing investigation.
Yeah,
So like a plus.
the
seven.
Goliath is doing perception and rolled a 2. Goliath's
They are-
just squat.
If we get ambushed,
They
we're gonna
also
have to go
moved
boarding.
off, so Kay's gonna get on the building now and take a look.
Okay.
Oh, well, I've just done as well with investigation. That was
Okay.
a 4.
I got 14.
Okay. And Kay, perception check with disadvantage as well, please.
He's got no light now.
He doesn't need it.
Unfortunate. 12.
12? Okay. Which part of the building are you getting onto? This bit or this bit?
The non-broken bit. Actually,
Non-broken.
no, I'd actually get on the broken bit since I heard it was coming from that way.
Okay. So, Cat, with your investigation, as you otherwise head up, you can see very little. You can't see any signs of movement. There isn't any clear, like, disturbance of dust that would be out of place of just natural weather. It rained recently, so it would make sense that there would be some, like, water and stuff on the road, on the pathway. There's also dust and dirt. Would make sense, given the nature of the area you're in. There aren't really any signs of people or monsters or anything. And if they were setting an ambush, then they would have attacked you by now, you would assume, given you've probably travelled a little ways up to check this. K, your total on the perception was
12.
12. Okay. To your immediate left, as you're otherwise poised on there, you see what looks to be a form, or two forms, rather, climbing over the webs across the top of the trees.
They're climbing on the web, so they gotta be like spider people. I'm gonna move to... I'm going to... Is it possible to make it around this roof? Even though it's broken?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, yeah.
If you want
like
to do it
make
stealthily, I'll say go ahead and make me a regular stealth check. We'll say this will be you being careful as to not break it, but also, in this instance, just trying to remain unseen. Okay.
15.
15. Moving around the building, you get the general... You follow the individuals as best you can as they continue moving on. They don't seem to have noticed you, but you can now more clearly see them, of what looks to be one large spider with what looks to be these kind of bulbous sections to its abdomen and near the thorax. And you can see what looks to be an individual otherwise riding on the back, kind of hunched down, very much trying to hide. You can see what looks to be a large pole that's been kind of racketed next to them as they're otherwise holding it there. And this lantern of what looks to be a closed, but still letting off these tiny flecks of light. These like singular beams from where they've just closed the lantern off.
Kay is going to do his best to stay as... he's actually going to, sit Jeff down right here, because this is a crystal thing that could reflect light and stuff. Kay's not trusting it.
Okay.
He's going
Jeff
to put it down there.
Jeff is put down. Jeff's last command of sit on top of Kay's head is... Oh no, he was told to sit on top of the box. So
Sit on top
Jeff's
of the
on the box.
Okay, yes. Jeff is on the box.
Jeff is not an intelligent bird. And never will be.
No, he's not.
Kay
That's why there's Jeff too.
Kay is going to try and keep himself on the roof, but he's going to say in a hushed tone enough to where they can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Okay. The individual is going to immediately look around, doesn't see you, and kind of immediately kind of kicks a bit, and you watch as their pace picks up and they begin to head further this way at more of a hurried pace.
I'm just gonna follow along the roof.
Okay. You know that they travel from tree to tree at a faster pace, and not one where they're kind of foregoing stealth in aid of speed here.
I was just going to say, if you're with the spiders inside, they are leaving.
Roll me a persuasion check.
There we go. Persuasion. That is an 11.
11. The individual hesitates, looking back. I'm going to roll a perception check for them. What was your total again?
11. For what?
For your stealth, sorry, it was 16, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. The individual stops, makes eye contact with where you are, and from a distance in a hushed tone goes, "How can I trust you?"
Hey, Sarah, it's Joe. You want her in?
What exactly could I, from what Kay has seen and stuff like that, and from them, can he remember anything that he can do to show that they can trust? Unless showing Jade is enough.
Showing Jade would be potentially dangerous. You're not entirely sure what it would do. It could have a positive or a negative reaction in this particular instance. I'll say go ahead and roll me a history check.
Do I get advantage since it was recent?
Yes, that's true, because you have the background for that, don't you? So yeah, because it was recent,
Yes.
you'd get advantage on that for recollecting recent events.
History. That's a 9.
9. You think back, and there's not really much that they did outside of a salute of some form that they did for one another. You're
I
not
remember exactly what that salute was, or generally what the salute was.
It's blurry. You kind of think back, and there's a few possible options. You think about ones that you've seen, and it begins to kind of merge with them. It's difficult to guess. But something possibly to do with either raising your hand or a fist of some form, and then raising it to a portion of your body somewhere. The chest, the shoulder, or the forehead, depending on the method in which it was done.
I doubt it was the forehead.
Or it's a hand or a fist.
I'm just because I remember something like this happening, and I remember seeing and thinking it's like Nazis. I'm guessing it was the hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to guess. I doubt it was the forehead, because that would be a little too similar to things that I have seen in real life.
Like an actual salute.
I'm going to do the salute with an open hand to where my heart would be. That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion, that is a 19.
The individual looks at you and pauses for a moment before kind of readjusting with the spider and takes a few steps towards you. It's actually a fist on the chest, not a flat hand, but close enough.
Oh. I only saw it a few times.
That's quite alright. What's going on with you around here? You mentioned the people inside were leaving?
Yes,
That's good.
My group helped them get the... What was it, an artifact?
Sacred artifact, jade core. They had a few different terms that were flung around.
We helped them get the jade core out and cleared their way to go home.
That's good. Thank you for the help. You
right
can see
now, I was just gonna say, right now, I'm doing my best to stall the other group from going in till the morning.
Thank
They
you very
said
much.
they will get the eggs out by then.
Thank you kindly. I'll let you get back to your business then. If you're heading towards Drell, I may meet you on the road. Just look for me off the road slightly, hanging in one of the trees in a capsule.
That's it.
Got you. Stay safe.
The individual nods. Getting a closer look at them before they head off, you can see that what were the kind of the bulbous nodules, you know, are large sacs on the side of the giant spider, which has a saddle and a frame holding the sacs in place. This individual is a trader.
I see.
And you know that the individual turns and leaves, getting by successfully with safe passage. Jeff is not very stealthy, and you can get the general sense that he probably noticed Jeff and hid. So,
Yeah.
going back to your perch, with a good half of your rest later, or half of your watch later, you guys return. Nothing seems to have happened, nothing was of interest, and your watch concludes. Final watch is Dwarf, Romulus, and Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
Alright, I gotta make another stealth check.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Alright. Much better.
So, no one seems to notice you in this place this time around. Vinny, you go outside. The dwarf is otherwise there. She's leaning up against the wall, otherwise having a look around. Romulus is just kind of sat in the corner, just nervously looking around into the dark where he can't see.
This is the last watch.
Correct. Yeah. So the sun will be coming and burning the fog and mist off in a few hours or so.
Okay. Right, I will turn to the dwarf then. I hope we didn't cause you too much trouble with all this.
No, not at all. The fact that you've actually done your job and you've cleaned this place out means that we don't have to. It means that we're going to be picking up the scraps and making sure all the traps are disarmed for when the workers want to come back.
Fair enough. Do be careful with those traps. It's pretty dangerous in there.
Noted. Did you clear away many of the webs, or...?
Some. Clearing away some of the webs seem to be attracting the spiders, though, so...
That makes sense. So you snapped past them. Group doesn't seem the type, but then again, I don't know what tricks you've got.
Well, wasn't the proudest display of stealth, but we did what we could.
Well, still, I'm sure we'll be able to find the way. And if not, I'm sure Finch will be able to find us a clear path through that will involve getting around the traps so we can deactivate them safely. How about you lot then? So you lot were hired for this? Personally or by the pioneers?
Pioneers, Romulus and Cat have some contacts in them.
Fair enough.
We ran into them a couple towns back, and now we're along for the ride.
Fair enough. How long's your adventuring team been stuck together?
Hard to say. A few weeks, I think. That's about accurate, right?
I'm just gonna double
We
check.
took a week out. Probably about a week, maybe 2.
We started the campaign around here. It's nearly a month, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Run out on,
Months
we'll be
and
on
4
this
weeks.
day.
It's not.
Not bad, not bad. Crew and I have been doing this for quite some time. A few individuals left our group and a few have come in since. Finch is the most recent addition. It's proven his worth quite well. The rest of us have all kind of gotten together over time. Things have changed though. Used to be a crew of 12. Used to clean up a lot of stuff until there was a schism between our group. 6 went one way, 6 went another. 3 of them left and we got Finch. Smaller groups are easier to work with, but the larger groups were more secure, much easier to work with when it came to guarding caravans or clearing out dungeons. Bloody things keep
Strength
popping
in
up out of
numbers and all
everywhere.
that. What caused the schism, if you don't mind my asking?
It's a scuffle. Scuffle over some artifact they found. Some kind of special mechanism or something. It said it went for something interesting. Party split. They took the mechanism, stole it away, said it was something important. We chased after them, did what we could. We got some of our stuff back, but we didn't get the mechanism, and they got away with it. So we've kind of just kept on our own ever since. Those I've stuck with are loyal to me. The 3 who left afterwards were upset that we let them get away with the mechanism and they chased after them. Can't say I know what happened to them.
Question. If I can see this individual through the cracks in the boxes and stuff, can I try and insight if they know more about this mechanism than they're letting on?
Go ahead and give me an insight check. I will say they are going to get advantage on the roll, because in this instance it's difficult for you to tell from this distance given the fog and the particular angle.
That's fine.
Okay. They're a bit hard to read. It's not meaning that you can tell generally which way they're deciding on this, but if they do have information to hide, then it's pretty difficult to tell.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Well, at least you know you can trust the ones that stuck around.
It's true. Yeah, they've all been through some difficult times, but I'm glad I got them. Like I said, Finch is the newest. He was working with the Pioneers as a dungeon looker. One of the people who heads down to a dungeon and has a look around to see if there's anything that's dangerous. Traps, entrances, using various techniques to scout out the place without actually getting caught and clearing it out himself. He then leaves, hands it, and then sells the map on to others. But he's traded in that business and become one of the scouts with our crew. We clean up after others. It's good business, it's not bad. Vestra, our resident ranger, he's more of a monster hunter. He's the kind who'll collect types and pieces of things, collect trophies, sell them on. Used to work for the Cataloguers Guild before they kind of screwed him over, so...
Ooh, how'd that?
Catalogers are good and all, but they don't pay enough for the monster parts. You get a lot more money if you sell them privately to either collectors and or people who want to work with the materials. For example, Vestra came across some dragon scales that were just shed from a large dragon. Green, if you must know, from the swamps. The swamp dragon's scales were worth quite a hefty price, but Vestra handed them in to his cataloger friends. Got paid about 500 gold pieces for it. Could have sold them for 1,000 each, and he had 6 of them. Got ripped off in terms of being given things and benefits in exchange for being shafted on the coin he would have gotten. After he learned this, he started collecting the pieces himself, learning information and building it from the ground up. Catalogers are nice for short-term business, but for long-term business, they're not worth your time.
I'll bear that in mind. I've never really been attached to an organization like that, but
yeah, Pioneers are better. They pay fairly based on your experience, which is better for money's sake. Krat, on the other hand, she's been through a lot. She was the first to actually be in the group. She was the one who founded it, back when we were 12. She was originally our leader until things got nasty. She's the giant-blooded, if you must know. Not the smartest, but the strongest. She ruled through strength, and after she got stabbed in the back, she handed leadership over to me. Name's Grims, by the way. I'm more local to the area. I'm familiar with the bayou. I was raised here, alongside my parents.
Do you have to travel a lot for work, or is there a lot of work around here?
Zakers and Drell are very good in terms of the money that they make. Drell is quite good and keeps itself to itself, knowing who's friends and who's not. And they'll typically hire those that they know, and then be very sketchy at letting new people in. If they can't do the job, they then don't get asked again. Zakers, on the other hand, will take anyone, and they're more for the organisational types, guilds, business folk who want more out of something than others would, but they'll also pay less. Drell don't have the money, but they'll be honest with the pay, depending on how much it's worth to them. It's always work around here. Given I'm a resident of Drell itself, I'm able to get us a job when we need it, for if we need some short cash. On the other hand, Krut has some good connections on the surface of Zakers. Good friends with a number of the dens. And taking in some good cuts. And Vestra too, since he started selling his stuff to the Den of Furs and other dens that work up there. Anyway, how about yourselves? How did you come to be?
Oh, we ran into one another, I suppose you could say. Back in Trendle's Rest.
A little bit further to the north, then. Makes sense, given you got some Beastlandic folk with you. No, offended by any means, but just notice.
No, we're all a little far from home out here. But we were travelling in a few small groups and sort of adhered during the troubles they've been having up there.
Yeah, I heard it was affected trade. Don't know the details of it, but still. I imagine that'll be something that'll get handled eventually. Usually does. And if it gets too major, then we usually just hunker down and weather it. It's the way it is with us.
Well, I think things are on their way to recovering up there now.
I'd like you four to all go ahead and roll me perception checks, please.
Okay.
So we need Romulus as well, who will roll disadvantage. Can't actually see, so yeah, can't see very much. Okay. Vinny, what'd you get?
It's a 13 from me.
13. And Kay?
9.
9. Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
As you're otherwise kind of sat there having this conversation and pausing for a moment, you feel this slight shift. It's a strange shift, almost like a light vibration underneath the walkway itself.
Do you feel that?
Feel what?
I'm gonna get down closer to the walkway and press my body up against it. Felt like something trembling.
Okay. I'd like you to go ahead and make me another perception check. As is Grimm's.
Since I'm hiding in the box, I'm gonna put my ear to the bottom of the box, seeing
Okay.
what Vinny's doing.
Go ahead.
That's better. That's a 23.
23.
Also better. 16.
Okay. As the three of you note this, Romulus is he's dozing off. He's, as you kind of listen as best you can, Grimm's kind of places his hand on the wood and focuses for a moment before kind of lifting his head and looking at you, as you also feel this vibration and you hear the sound of what seems to be sludge parting and moving, and then the water kind of rushing back in as something is shifting down there. Okay, as you listen in, you hear what sounds to be a low growl. There's kind of a moment of pause. I would like all
It's
three.
right below us.
Yeah, right below us. Oh, right below you. I would like both of you to roll me nature checks, please. And Grims is going to have advantage on this because he knows what this is, or she knows what this is. Okay.
I doubt I. 5.
That's a 12.
12, 5. Okay.
Yep.
Neither of you know what this is, but you hear as Grims otherwise goes, "Shit, nobody move. Don't want to cause any trouble or startle that thing. When there's one, there's usually a few."
Okay, staying perfectly still.
Okay.
What exactly is it that we're not aggroing?
Once I find the successful name of this thing, I had it and now I've lost it. Gosh darn it. Hey, you Jamie, you remember what these things are?
Do I?
Yeah.
Go on, I'll look through a load of things.
I was going to say it's in chapter 4.
Oh, okay, I can sort that out, probably.
I think it's in chapter 4 anyway. It's the description of the... sludge worms. Gonna want to keep our distance if they do start attacking us. They'll come straight up through the floorboards, so stay as quiet as you can. So, I would like the three of you to make stealth checks. Romulus isn't going to bother, because Romulus is asleep. As far as I'm concerned, he's not moving. Granted, he's probably snoring as loud as he can.
Yes.
But yeah.
And talking.
And probably talking as well, knowing Romulus. Okay.
15.
19.
Okay. The two of you are incredibly quiet. And as Grims is talking, you're noting that where she was listening to this, she has her staff kind of at the ready, and as she otherwise stands up, her staff scrapes slightly, and you hear the sound of shifting of sludge and water, as you otherwise hear it grow quiet again, before you hear the sound of heavy movement nearby, just round the corner. Grims, thankfully, even though only having one fail, did not roll a natural 1, so the two of you counteracted it, as the sludge worm seems to be disorientated. As this happens, I'll say, Vinny, go ahead and give me a perception check, as you're the only one who could really see these from this angle.
Uh, 18.
18. Looking round and just to the edge of the heavy fog, it's difficult to make out detail. But in the darkness you watch as there's kind of this splash and shift of mud, and you watch as this worm-like creature with this kind of flat head to it, where it goes from being pointed to being flat, and then this extension of what looks to be almost like an interior mouth from the interior of it reaches out and kind of slops onto the side of the walkway and then recedes back where it had tried to bite at where it thought Grims may have been. The worm itself looks to be somewhere between 12 and 15 foot long and about 4 foot thick.
Yikes.
As it otherwise recedes back and kind of goes back to resting in the sludge. It'll move on in time. Once the sun comes out, they go dormant.
Right. At least if anything else attacks us, it'll have to deal with that.
It's true. There are things that hunt them, though. I'd be more scared of them than I would of that. Have you ever faced a swamp dragon before?
No. Only a stone dragon up in the mountains.
Oh, stone dragons suck ass. Swamp dragons are worse. They have a lingering effect on you. Stone dragons push you around and they're hard buggers to bring down. Swamp dragons are crafty. They got more thought to them. They're cunning. Once they hit you, you start to burn.
I'm sorry, but Kay pokes his head out of the box. That's what that was called?
I'm gonna roll a...
I'm not being loud.
No, I know, but they still didn't know you were there, so I'm gonna roll a general d20. Okay, the individual is startled at that, kind of turning and looking at you. I'm just gonna quickly see if that disrupts their stealth check at all. No. So they are startled and kind of go to take a step, but kind of hesitate for a moment, leaning on their staff. You were out here the whole time?
Yes.
And what did you think that was?
The stone dragon.
Oh,
I didn't know that's what that was called.
Oh, you're a... Yes, for now, stay quiet.
I'm the best one at being quiet.
I can tell. Romulus, on the other hand, is busy snoring away. But because of reasons, it's fine. Okay. Meanwhile...
Yes.
Cat.
Uh-oh.
Would you like the rest of the party to be here for this, yes or no?
Sure.
I would like everybody to mute up, please, except for Cat. Okay. Cat. As you lay to rest, you feel uneasy, knowing what you've done in the past few days, what's happened, the events that have transpired. It's off-putting, to say the least. Yet, Cychania rests at your side. It's too intense, too quickly. Hold on, I need my other one. Where's my other one gone? There it is. Okay. Cychania rests at your side, a feeling of this cool warmth otherwise washing over you from her. The wind gently rushes by outside, the sounds of your worn-out party who have otherwise gone through their rest, easing and letting out breath one at a time, in and out, with your accompanying companions that are with you. Sleep is difficult, especially with the mid-shift watch, but it comes to you. Eventually you feel the warmth begin to fade away and the wind begins to pick up. Heavier and heavier. As you open your eyes to switch positions, kind of shifting, you see within the dark around you, which is unusual for you. You aren't able to really see except when there's moonlight. And yet, as you open your eyes and hazily look around, you see long, drawn-out lines and shadows that smudged across your periphery. Your breathing begins to begins to become heavier and heavier. You open your eyes a bit more and begin to try and focus. The shapes and shadows surround you. Your companions are gone, and you stand up, awake and aware. What do you do?
Panically looking round. Cychania here?
Cychania's here. And you look around, you can see where you had otherwise laid down to sleep. You can see the bed, the indent where you were. You can see the beds where your friends were. Or more accurately, the splatters of blood in place of where your friends once laid. You see claw and teeth marks mar the wood boards around on the walls, the ceiling, and the floor, leaving long striations through the wood panels. A struggle happened here. It took place. As you panic, otherwise readying your spellbook, lifting it up from your side, you feel as if it's slick, wet or damp, possibly from the moss or the moisture in the air. And as you pull up your spellbook and pulling it free, you look at the surface of it, and instead of the usual nice tan leather that you're used to, it is a black, oily colour. You see that in the centre of your spellbook is a singular eye, surrounded by teeth that encase it inwards, on the precipice of puncturing the eye. You instinctively go to drop the spellbook in this moment, as the eye shifts to look at you, directly at you in the face, but it grips to your hand, almost stuck to it. You see what looks to be a cracked grin of purple and blue lightning splitting below the eye, teeth otherwise slipping free to show their yellowish hue of a grin. Strings of red spittle and saliva hang from the now open mouth as unexpectedly it speaks. My God, do you still despise me?
Yeah. How did you survive? How did we survive?
Always survive. None have managed to take me away. Only seal me. Now you hold the key. You control the weapon. You could set me free. You could set me free from this prison.
No. You took everything. Literally everything.
But I return everything. I return them to you. They could be yours once more. If only you were to set me free. No, don't. Shut up! The snap of the mouth, biting down, almost breaks the air of stillness, as if lightning would take a vacant sound. Ah. So what'll it be? You've seen the taste of my power. You know what it can do.
I know how much you're willing to kill. I know what the destruction you can perform. I'm literally getting all of my magical energy and gonna frost it into the book.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2d10.
Jesus. Alright. 2d10. Oh, cool. How's the die? Hang on. 1 second.
You're right there.
Yeah, mouse died.
Oh. Okay.
9.
Okay. 4 and 9. As you otherwise thrust your magical energy, it surges through the book. You begin to feel it almost take shape and take form. As your magic coalesces onto the outside, the mouth of teeth is overridden. An illusory mouth forms and speaks back at you in your own voice. Don't set it free. You're stronger than this. Don't.
Alright. Someone's got to kill this thing. Someone's got to keep people safe. And yeah, I'm literally just gonna thrust everything I've got and shove my fist with Psychania into it.
Okay. As you shove your fist with Psychania with it, you go ahead and swing your fist towards it. And in that moment, there's a split second when the mouth goes, "No!" What do you do?
Carry on.
You carry on. So Chania punctures the book. And in that moment, you watch as the eye splits. The teeth withdraw. And you feel this intense surge as you look down and you can see your arm. Pink of skin. Yours. And as you touch it, you look at it, and then it begins to spoil. You watch as it begins to go black, corroding away, fading away. First the skin, then the muscle, the flesh, and every nerve comes alive, burning within you. You scream out in pain as it roars through your body, as you feel your bone break and tear away, and you watch as the book peels off and onto the skeletal bone, replacing the nerves, burning in through you as you feel it crack and pierce across you. Very good. You have now become cracked 3. In that moment, you begin to feel tears rushing down your face. A sense of your act of violence didn't kill this thing, it brought it that much closer to freedom. The realization hits you all at once that your actions that you made, they made sense. You just wanted to kill this thing. And now it's progressing. You can feel it inside of you, almost riddling you with pain. As you pause to think about it, you begin to feel this burn within you, something worsening than before. At that point, you wake up. But before then, Kirv and Damian, Romulus, Vinny, and Kay, along with your companions. Close to the end of your watch, there is a moment where you hear sound from the interior. Kirv and Damian, you two look down to see Cat standing upright, staring directly at her book. She stares at her spellbook, kind of intently holding it, shaking in place. You watch as she pours magic into it, and you watch as the spellbook flickers open, hundreds of black pages shooting past, red insignias drifting off into the air around her, almost a surge of magic which you are unaware of that she would have access to, spilling into the room around you. Damian and Kirv, what do you two do in this moment? You may unmute.
This doesn't look good. Damian is rushing for the door.
Okay. You rush for the door to get the others.
What does her face look like?
She is frightened. No,
She's frightened.
she is terrified. As if a life torn in this very moment. She is suffering.
Can I try and pull the book away from her?
You place your hand on the book, and as you begin to feel it, the energies which you have recently coalesced into you, the magic that you understand, this is a binding. You know not why you know this, but this is a binding the same as your own. You try to pull the book away, and you can't. It is firmly within her grasp, as if locked by some extraordinary force of power. Damian, you go outside. At this point, Romulus, Vinny, and Kay, you are now made aware of what's going on. as you hear this going on. Romulus, I say, is going to rush in, but I don't know what he would do because he's not here, unfortunately.
K's rushing in.
K is rushing in.
Dr. K's on the
Yes.
case.
K. Dr. K is on the case.
Mm-hmm.
I'll miss up on that snack.
Okay, I will head in as well.
Okay.
Damian's keeping watch. He's not going back in there.
He's not going back in there, he's keeping watch.
Nope,
Okay. The
he's
cleric
staying
will
there.
head in. Okay. Okay. So, Kirv, you currently hold the book with Cat. You feel this almost tingling pain on your fingertips. As if whatever's inside is burning. But you're not entirely sure what the intent is.
Can I say to the others?
By all
It's a
means.
pact, and it's hurting her. Something to do with this book.
The only thing that K can think of is running up and biting the book.
Would you like to?
Yes, K is good. That's what I mean. That's the only thing K can think of, and that's the only thing he's gonna do.
Okay. Make me an attack roll.
That happened before that?
This is in hope, just to make it clear. This that was close.
That's a close natural one. Oh my word.
K is doing this not with the intention of hurting Cat or trying to destroy the book, but more he's learned that he can be able to absorb things, so he wants to see if he can be able to try and absorb the pain that she's going through.
Okay. As you bite onto the book, I will say, in this moment, Cat, this is a choice that you in your subconscious would make. Are you willing to share the pain with K? You choose no rolling.
I wouldn't. No.
Cat wouldn't. K, as you bite onto the book, you feel it there. Tangible power, raw, intense, magical energy there at the tip of your tongue, ready to be absorbed before it fades, as if an unwilling giving of this power is not present. Where you were willing to take away this pain, Cat rejected it. The book rejected it.
K says to Cat, "Let me help you. You can't shoulder this on your own. Let me help."
Okay. I'm going to say Romulus being Romulus, he is going to attempt to try and pull the book from her hand, same as Kirv did. Romulus, as he tries, fails to do so, but feels almost this intense energy, which he makes verbally known that there is an intense energy behind this. I will say that the party can try 3 more tricks before Sychania attacks the book.
Ooh.
And by all means, you're willing to try the same tricks again.
K is
So-
going to try again. He's trying to convince Cat that he can help her.
Okay. In this
This
instance,
is the only thing that K can do.
in this instance, I will say you will make a persuasion check, then K. And Cat, I will let you decide the DC, but you have to tell me before K rolls.
Okay.
I
Roger.
won't finish rolling, but you
Yeah.
can.
It can be anywhere between 5 and 30. Keep in mind that this would be reasonable based on difficulty, that 30 would be nearly impossible, and a 5 would be exceptionally easy. I will let you put that choice in your hands.
Okay.
You can type it
Let
or you
me-
can tell me.
Okay.
During this time, the rest of you, I would like you to consider possible options that you can try. Be creative.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Chris,
Mm-hmm.
have I? Has the sleep gone through?
I will say yes, the sleep has gone through, because this would be on the precipice of the sleep.
Okay, I think you know what I'm thinking.
Okay. Okay. Kay, You may roll your persuasion check. You are trying to beat a 25.
Well, I can't beat a 25 unless I roll a natural 20.
Okay. As you try to persuade Cat, you note that
Unless I can feasibly throw my all of my biological resilience into this to try and show that Kay can endure this pain as well.
I'll say if Vinny is willing, in exchange for this, Vinny, if you wish to give an inspiration die to Kay as part of this, there's a shared burden to this, if you will. I will allow you to do that with the expenditure of using a biological resilience as well. Now, say these will bring down the DC slightly. Obviously, the inspiration that you'll be giving Vinny will be a flat D6, but that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Vinny would?
Yes. As we're all here, I'm going to lay one hand on Cat's shoulder, and the other on Kay's. And I'm going to lean in and whisper in her ear. We can all do this together. We can help take the pain for you. You don't have to be alone in this.
Okay. Okay, roll me a d6. This will add on to your total. 5. What is your total?
17. That is a 23 total.
23. With the expending of your biological resilience to show that you can take this pain, you attempt to take this from Cat. It's a difficult one. And I'll let the other two go to see if they do something to potentially push this over the edge.
Damian probably isn't. Damian's more interested in what on earth the magic is that's going on. He's going to try and detect magic to discover what on earth's going on.
Okay. Go ahead. And I will say, roll me an Arcana check.
It's a 15.
15. Looking at Cat in this moment, there is something unpleasant about this. You've noted your party's general power in their various ways, and you haven't noted Kirv's power before. You've not seen it before. So it's a bit odd seeing it out of place. But seeing a room filled with light, flecks of black and red and purple, spinning where natural magic should be, is unnerving. And as you follow it and you look out, you note that these black, red and purple flecks persist out for a good 10-15 feet from Cat, out into the world beyond. Whatever this is magic beyond your capability. That much you understand. There is no school of magic for this.
Right.
I'll say, if you wish to, you can consume a divine sense, and I'll give you further information.
Bear with me. Have I got that? Let me check if I've got one available. I believe I probably do. Oh, hang on. It's on the side here. Yeah, I would happily do that.
Okay. Burning a divine sense, you pick up on this. It is dark magic. You've felt the magic of otherworldly beings. You felt the magic of Fae and their mischievous nature. You felt the magic of undead and their necrotic defiance. You felt the magic of devils and similar folk and their corruption. This is something from beyond. A magic of pure evil and malice. Something that you don't imagine the world has seen in hundreds of years. Kirv, I believe you wanted to try something.
I mean, I don't want to try it.
You don't want to try it now?
If you know what I'm on about.
That makes sense. In fear
But-
that it might counteract their current work?
I'm using it as a last resort.
As a last resort.
Yes. And just a quick check. One of the components I need. I mean, would I actually... am I right? Sorry, I read it and I need a specific thing to do this.
I believe it doesn't have an MGP cost, so your blade or your scythe stands in for that. If it has a gold cost, then you would need it, but I don't believe that spell requires it. I believe it's just an item.
Okay.
So that gets substituted by your scythe, so you can still use it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do as a last resort if this doesn't work.
Okay. Okay. I will say, and I will leave this up to you, Cat. With the use of the biological resilience, bringing it down by 1 or 2, it would have been decided if it were a 6, but given it's a 5, it brings it to 1 of these 2 results. Cat, does this work?
Okay. You know what?
I will let you roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll.
What does high mean and what does low mean?
So let's go. She's still very not wanting to. The history of what this is, it's not. So I'll say 13 and up succeeds.
Okay. Give me a d20 roll.
There we go.
13 and up succeeds. Okay. As you feel this sudden shift in power, almost a go-ahead, you bite the book, moments before Sychania connects. As this happens, Cat, on your end of the memory of the dream, you perform this action, and Sychania hits. But the book does nothing. There are no cracks, there is no feeling. The surge, the memory, the pain subsides. And there before you stands K, mouth filled with oil and ink. His eyes burned black and purple, cracked to either side. And within, a void, a hole inside of him. And you feel the drops of ink, oil, and that purple energy fall into the void and vanish. Okay. From this point on, you have unlocked spellcasting.
Yo.
God.
However, it will come with some downsides, and I will discuss those. Cat, you remain at cracked 2, you do not progress. And as this all takes place and you all recover, there is a scream from Cat. The energy disperses and bursts into a radiant burst of light, which all of you see, but Damian, you specifically have to close your eyes and cancel the concentration, or you will be blinded permanently.
Well, I'm doing that.
You shield your eyes and stand back as the energy bursts outwards, surprising the people who are with you in that moment. As this happens, Cat opens her eyes, says Romulus' name, and collapses into his arms. Cat, you are currently unconscious and unable to do anything for the time being. The rest of you are awake. Romulus is going to nurture her back to sleep. Or cradle her back to sleep.
Can I get a understanding of how much went in the K?
In this instance, your perceptions of magic thus far are... they have an effect on you. They have a magical effect, a raw effect. You just felt your entire body shiver with raw magic of something you've never experienced.
Alright,
And-
then I would let it get to be thematic that K does also fall to the floor.
Okay, that makes sense. As K similarly falls unconscious.
He took in way more than he normally would have. So it only makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna be looking over him to see if he's okay.
Okay. And Kirv, as you stand there, kind of your hand at the ready at the brim of your mask, you release your grip.
Mm-hmm.
The magic fading from your palm and the runes fading, leaving the room to be more of a dark location now, save for Damian's light shining in from the exterior. The dwarf takes a step back from you all. I don't know what happened there.
Damian's going to speak to him. I'd recommend you guys go. I would not stick around. I do not want you to be harmed for what's going on here. But whatever is going on here, it terrifies me, but I'm still going to stick around.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. This guy doesn't want to stick around either, but it's like duty of clearing the mine versus
Get out of
versus
here!
get out of here. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
that's pretty good.
She looks at you and just goes,
22.
I think you're right. I think we leave. If you end up seeing us at the Pioneers Guild, by all means come and speak to us. I hope things go well for you.
Thank you, and with you guys, stay safe.
The others are gonna leave.
Yeah,
I
travel
gotta step
carefully.
They all nod and they book it. They will be gone for the foreseeable future. Okay. In this moment, as you otherwise stand in the room, Vinny, you were going to check on Kay. Go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Pretty good. That is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Looking at Kay, you can see around his mouth where he bit the book, where the energy seemed to have surged into him. Just like an electrical current, just like lightning. You note that where usually you can't see this, his mouth, which you very rarely get to see, being that he hides it most of the time, you note that the interior of the skin on the inside of his mouth is singed and torn away, sundered by the magic. You see that his tongue has been eliminated. You see that the inside of his mouth, all of the redness and pinkness you'd expect is gone. And all is left is cracked purple metallic bone. You see almost this vacant hole that goes down to his throat, and you've never noticed before how bottomless it looks. The outside of his face is similarly charred, his white fur turned black in places where it has been burned and singed away. You see flecks of his skin have begun to fall away in sections, and other patches begin to grow dark, like they're bruising. You recognize these. These are his symptoms. Like every magical school has come alive at once. He has been inflicted with something far, far worse than you could have imagined. And yet he lives. He breathes and his heart beats. His mouth is going to be funny for the next few days, if not months. But you note that he looks different. Strangely so. I'll say Romulus will also do a check over Cat during this time.
Okay.
Romulus, with his... I rolled my dice instead of on tabletop. My bad. That was a 14. With his medicine, I don't know if he's proficient, but he has a +1 at least, so I'll say it's 15 or 17. Or 15 or 18. In this instance, as he's otherwise looking over Cat, he lets the rest of you know that she will live. Whatever magic this was, as much as it's torn through her, has not made it worse, from what he can tell. She has been physically seized by this and feels pain, from what he can tell. She subconsciously winces away from the pain when she feels it when he tries to move her. And the book that she had, her spell book, you can see the pages have gone back to their normal coloration. The magic untouched, undamaged, no tooth mark from K whatsoever. The book remains as it was, runes and all. Cychania, on the other hand, lays still, unanimated. As he lifts Cychania's head to move, she floats down as if still there, but no longer in full control, no longer in consciousness, if an animated chain could have consciousness. Kirv, is there anything you'd like to do?
Kirv takes a look at Cat, and then I think she would just run outside for air.
Okay. As you head outside, you see Damian there, similarly shaken by this. But
Do these guys need help? Can we get them to somewhere that can help? I believe there's Abbots, for example, somewhere near the Ivy Hills. We could get them to them.
Even just getting them back to town would be helpful, but I mean, K is easy to move, but we're not going to have much of a chance of moving Cat without help.
I turn to Romulus. How long do you think it will be until she'll come round?
oh, right, sorry. Sorry, my brain is like, Romulus is Harlan. Can't say. Maybe... hopefully in the morning. If not, I can try to carry her back as best I can. It'll be slow, but it can be done.
A whole day? Was it? So maybe this is
In-
you misunderstanding. Is this
in
like
the
middle of the
morning.
night still? This is the. Oh, okay. it's not
This is
quite-
an hour till daybreak, yeah.
Okay. So like an hour's time is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll rest up for now as best you can. I'll keep an eye on the two of them. We'll move in the morning and hopefully they'll be fit.
Okay.
Vinny, do you go to sleep?
Since we had a watch to finish, I'm going to stay up,
Okay.
but I will head back outside.
Okay. Kirv?
Mhm.
You are currently outside when Vinny exits to go back to his watch. The others have left, and you're out in the otherwise cool and humid air of the night in the bayou. The chirps of insects and sounds beyond, things that you are very unfamiliar to, have all just hit you in a wave.
I think Curve continues to just stand there and regulate her breathing.
Okay.
Kirv? Are you alright?
Always. But she doesn't do that every night, does she?
No, it's not the first time something weird has happened. I thought that was going to be a one-off. I mean, I meant what I said. I want to try and help to take some part of the burden, but it's hard to do that when we don't know what's going on. Sorry, you've been kind of dragged into all of this.
You'd be surprised how thankful I am to find folk. As you've probably suspected, am not from around here. But, wow. I think that girl's in danger.
Yeah, I don't really know enough about magic to know what exactly, but
I've only recently come across these powers that I have. And like her, it's a pact. It's heavy. And I understand what it's like to feel all of that on your shoulders. But that magic, I mean, too much. Far too much.
I don't really know how any one person could really control that. Listen, I know that I don't really have the right to ask this of you, given the... Well, you don't know us very well, but... If you know anything about what it is that she's dealing with, could you help her? I'm out of my depth on this.
Would Kirv be able to tell that he's genuine?
I would say there's no role needed to understand that this seems genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen enough betrayal and tricky folk in your life. But you understand honesty when you see it.
Kirv sort of moves around to be face to face to Vinny. I can tell you honestly that if I recognized this, I would tell you. You know, she reminds me of my youngest sister. Seen too much. Knows too much. And I had a way of helping Cat there. Sorry, I know her name, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. I had a way of helping Cat, but it could have really scarred her. And I took the risk that you guys were going to be able to help. And you did. I think you should give yourselves credit for that. Even if we don't know completely what's going on. She's very lucky to have you guys.
Well, all of them, the horny crew,
Sorry, what?
they're like a family to me.
Fuck me.
Just took a sentimental, heartfelt moment and just sliced it in half.
The what squad? Is that what you guys call yourselves?
For lack of a better name.
I think he deserves inspiration for bringing it up in conversation.
You know what? I tend to agree. Vinny, you can have inspiration for that. That was incredible.
Cool.
Goodness.
Anyway,
It-
they're... Maybe it seems weird to say it, given that we haven't known each other that long, but... Well, I put my life in their hands, and they put their lives in mine. So that makes us kind of like family. And I know what it's like to lose family, and I don't have any intention of repeating that. This thing you could have done. What was it?
Do you see her face? How terrified she was. I could
Yeah.
have given her some. Sorry, did you say no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I could have given her something to be more terrified of. That would make her possibly drop that book. Oh, did you not realise?
No, I thought you were just trying to do it for the frightened effect. I completely forgot about the pretense of dropping the item.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Carry on.
So you understand why I didn't want it to be the first choice.
A last resort. Yeah, I get it. Still, thank you for having a plan, even if it wasn't ideal.
I'm not really a planner, but I figure it out as I go. But I guess that's how I got here, so maybe that's not such a good thing.
Fair enough. I'm the same way a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I had a friend who used to be a lot of a planner.
Mm-hmm.
Without him, I kind of feel like I need to pick up the slack a bit. Not really sure I'm well suited to it, though.
Well, with magic like that, and huge, what was it called? Frog? Huge, well, yucky thing like that, and those big creatures with too many legs. I don't know if planning really does all that much good in this kind of world.
No, maybe not. But I guess that's what swords are for.
Or in my case, this scythe, which is really growing on me, actually. She kind of spins it around in her hand.
It is cool.
Mm. Thank you.
You're welcome. And welcome to the team.
You guys have food, right?
Go bug Romulus. What are your opinions on rat, by the way? As a
Sorry?
meat.
What was that?
What are your opinions on rat meat?
I don't know if that's... He can talk. I mean...
Kay
Don't
just
know.
sits upright, unconsciousness gone. Huh?
Rat meat?
I heard you talking shit.
Is he that annoying?
No, I mean, we killed a bunch of rats a while back.
Right.
Romulus has been harvesting the meat.
Well, I'll give anything a try.
It's good. That's most of the food we have. So if you didn't like it, we'd be in trouble.
Okay. As the two of you head in, do both of you get to sleep, or do you... Oh, Vinny, you were still on watch, but Kirv, were you going to be going back in and getting to sleep?
I mean, I've gotten all the benefits from sleep, really.
Mm. So if you wish to aid in the last bit of the watch, you can.
I think I might do, because I don't think she'd be that hungry anyway. Yeah.
Okay. So, with Romulus, Vinny, and Kirv all staying up, and Damian getting back to rest, while Kay and Cat remain unconscious for an uncertain amount of time. That is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Potatoes.